Welcome to a new tutorial by Siltech. First, let's start by defining what is an IM match. An IM match is an activity proposed by the club to its users so they sign up, wanting to handle a minimum and a maximum number of players for this activity. The clearest example would be a game of paddle tennis at the club. You wish to fill an empty court and send a proposal match to all the players through email so they can sign up for it. The advantage of this system, which can be exploited for multiple sports and disciplines, is that it is the system itself that communicates with the client and tells you whether this activity has finally been cancelled for lack of people or if it has been confirmed. It is one of the most special tools of our program, and facilitates the club to fill those empty hours or create added value for their players by creating interesting games. The first thing we do is create an IM type. To do this, we will go to the main menu where it says Bookings and next in the right column where it says Types of IM. In this case, we will create an IM type to create a football game. We will go to New. The next thing is to put in the name of this IM. In this case, I'll call it Football. Now I'll choose what sport, which of course will be football. The duration of these activities will be 60 minutes. The type of booking you choose will be how you assign an amount to charge the customer, and visually these activities are presented in terms of occupancy. These types of bookings are infinite and are managed through the setup menu bookings. In this case, I created a football game that is going to charge €5 per person. The following is if I want or do not want players, when they sign up, to see the other players that are signed up. This can be very useful because there could be a certain person that bothers them signed up for this activity and they may not sign up as a result. The confirmation section of closed game or expired game can be sent by email or SMS. These communications are performed by the system automatically and serve to confirm the registration of a player, the cancellation of an activity, or confirmation of this. These communications are personalized and also can attach advertisements. Templates are below. The expiration of IM are the hours before the match in which this activity will expire or if it does not reach the minimum number of players. In this case, I'll put 5 hours earlier. If at that time it does not reach the minimum, the system will automatically cancel the match and send an email to the players signed up. If you choose a level, you could limit enrollment to this match to only those who have a particular level. To do this, you should have previously done a placement test to customers. As this is not the case, I'll leave it without a level. This option might be useful if I want to make paddle games for players with a high level. The option, as an instructor, is when this activity will be directed by a monitor. The monitor will make sure that the trainers make their hours available of the set periods that have a monitor. Activities like golf lessons, paddle tennis classes or gym classes are more likely to choose this option. The minimum number of clients will be the number of players that are necessary for a match to be held. In the case of Football 7, we will accept that only 5 people can sign up per team. So let's put a minimum of 10 and maximum of 14 clients. I said before, if by 5 hours before the game does not have 10 registered for this match, the system will send an email to those who have signed up saying that the game was cancelled and not submitted. At the same time, the system will release the court. This whole process is automatic, hence its potential. Days in advance is the option to show the number of days in advance that I will show the activity to all players in the client area. In this case, I will allow enrollment up to 14 days in advance. The next option is if you want the payment to be made per person, or a whole product is paid regardless of the number of players. In this case, I'll put it as paid per person. The voucher payment option is if I want the system to automatically charge registered players that have a voucher. For example, purse vouchers, IM vouchers, games vouchers. If I leave it blank, it will generate a receipt which then can be paid by credit card or cash, or through the virtual TPV in the customer's area. Maximum registration in advance is a useful option if we limit players who often take advantage, or to be fair to the other players. In this case, I will not put any limitations. In my case, I want these activities to be displayed in the client area. The limitation tag is a very important feature and is what allows the registration of these activities to be available for certain people in my database. If I do not fill in anything, these activities will be offered to everyone. But in this case, and to practice, I will limit the group of subscribers, and also only to men. The limitation allows the club to choose if the customer has to meet all the tags, or if they can partake in the activity with one of these tags. In this case, I will choose that they will have to meet all the tags, and we will save all this. It has added the IMN football type to my list. Right now we are ready to launch our first football game. To create our first football game, I have to go to bookings and next to IMN. In the next screen it will ask us what kind of activity we want to create. We choose football. In this screen we find an empty list of our football. This list is automatically filled in while we create games and offer it to our customers. As there are none, I will click New. The program will open the schedule planning so we can choose which facility we want this activity to take place. In this case I will choose September 1st at 11 a.m. We will open a window with all the details of this match, with virtually all the information filled in, thanks to the previous setting, but we are given the chance to change some of the parameters. In this case the start time is at 11 and the end is 12, because the configuration stated that the duration was 60 minutes. The expiration time is 5 hours earlier as we said in the configuration, like the type of reservation. We confirm that the minimum and maximum number of customers is what we want and we can give this game a name. I'll put the Great Game. I will ignore the option Make Visible Only in Administration because I want people to see it and sign up on the internet. Multiple choice is a very good utility since many of these activities will be repeated every week. In this case I will repeat every Wednesday of September. In this way I don't have to create these activities one by one. In the tags I will choose members and men and I will ask that these two requirements are met. Finally it will ask me if I want to sign up any player before I release the game. In this case I do not have one so I'll keep it as is. It has now saved this match. Here I have all the details. From here I can send this game to the entire database, modify or cancel any of the parameters. You can return to this screen whenever you want in the list I am in. In this case I will click the button to open the occupancy of the day so you can see how the game looks in administration part. If I wanted to cancel this I am in match, I'll click on the reservation and then click cancel. As simple as that. If what I want is to change time, it is easy as clicking and dragging the reservation to a different time and to the desired facility. If I wanted to change the day of activity I would click on the reservation and next, change the date. Once the IMN football game is set, it's time to register players. There are two ways, through the administration area, or through the customer area. Let's go first with the option of administration or reception. It's really easy. First we locate the day and time of that game. Click on the activity and next we add the players. 14 spaces will appear and from here we can add players one by one. If I put the mouse over the reservation we will see that we have already added that player. Remember that this player has received an email confirming their booking but warning him that it still has not been confirmed until the game has a minimum number of players. Until the moment you receive an email cancellation or an email confirmation. If I wanted to erase this player we would do the same procedure as the registration by clicking on the reservation, then players, then deleting the player. Now let's sign up a player through their customer area. For this I go into any player in our database. In this case I will choose Alvaro. This is the area Alvaro will find when he logs in. To access the football game it is as easy as going to the main menu where it says I am in, and then football. No available games appear for Alvaro as he does not contain any of the required tags such as man. Remember that this game was exclusive to these players. In order to enable Alvaro to register for this match I will attach the tag, man. To do this I will go to the administration part, to Alvarez page and I'll add the tag we need. If I go back to the client and update the page Alvaro, I will see how the game is now available. Next I would click I am in and confirm. Alvaro is now signed up in that game effortlessly. An action that usually boosts the registration of these games is to send an email to all the customers that meet the requirements in the database. To do that, we can go to the booking menu, then I'm in, and then choose the type of activity that I want to promote. You can now see that this list has games. What I will do then is select all, and next I will click send. Then we can customize this email, and within the brackets the system will list all those games. Now let's see what client has received the email. The ability to see this is a very useful tool for the club to boost the game in those hours or courts that interest clients. Once the game has reached the minimum number of players, the program will automatically send an email confirming the game to all players, and at the same time generate a receipt to all these. You see, if I put the mouse on the activity, I can see all the players and the money they have pending. To start charging these players, I can do it in two ways, from the part of administration or reception, and from the internet. We will begin charging from the administration part. To do this, I'll click on the reservation and then I will choose fast payment. Imagine it is the first player who is going to pay me. All I have to do is select the method of payment and click accept. As you can see, this player is the only one who appears as paid. To return a payment to a player, it's as easy as clicking on the reservation, then click View Charges, and then click Cancel. The program will issue a receipt in the negative with the same payment method that was used when making the payment. Another way to pay these memberships is through the client area. We will access the customer area of any of these players, and we will go to the section of My Account, My Bills, which is where all the debts that I have with the club appear. Here the membership appears of the football game, which we can select and pay. You can see in administration this person appears as paid. Well, as we finish this I Am in Matches tutorial, I hope you have understood the potential of this tool, and have knowledge to set up and make the most of it. Any questions you have, you can send us a support ticket and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Greetings and until next the tutorial.